Also, I would like to thank the organizer for the opportunity to present the Port of Rijeka and our most important infrastructure projects. These are projects that will position us in the next few years as the leading container port in North Adriatic area. The title of our presentation is the investment cycle of the Rijeka port system. The Port of Rijeka is the port. Second slide, please. Okay, this is the second slide. Thank you very much. The Port of Rijeka is port of the special international economic interest of the Croatia and the biggest Croatian port, and is most important Croatian port for the international traffic. Rijeka is deep sea port located in the North Adriatic area at the intersection of the maritime and land corridors of the Europe. Thanks to these positions, Rijeka enjoys the status of an important transit port of the overseas trade exchange for the many central Southeast European countries in the hinterland. The port area we manage includes 5 basins. The largest concessionaires for the core business are Adriatic Gate container terminal, our concessionaire at the existing container terminal, then Port of Rijeka Joint Stock Company, the concessionaires at the general cargo, bulk cargo and the wood terminals, and the JANAF, the concessionaires at the liquid cargo terminal. As of November 5th this year, we have the new concessionaire at the Zagreb Deep Sea Container Terminal. The concessionaire is called the Rijeka Gateway, operated by APM Terminals and ENA Logic. The Port of Rijeka Authority is working now on the 8 projects for which co-finance has been provided by the Connecting European Facilities. The estimate value of all the projects is around 140 million euros. The projects are deployed in all our port basins and related to the modernization of railway infrastructure, construction of the new intermodal capacities, the reconstruction of general cargo shore, implementation of the port community system, the dredging of the Adriatic Gate container terminal phase first, and the expansion and the construction of the new pier and preparation of the technical documentation in the Rijeka Basin. We have contracted works for the 7 projects, and all of them will be completed by the 2022. The 8 projects is the improvement of the infrastructure of the Port of Rijeka. The construction of the new pier has been approved for co-financing this year and the ends of the 2024. Based on the positive experience in the implementation of the CEF projects through the financial program period from 2014-2020, we have prepared 4 new projects for co-financing in the new financial program for the 2021-2027. First one is the construction of the new pier for the general cargo and multipurpose terminal. Second is improvement of the infrastructure of the Rijeka port, deepening additional 300 meters of the southern connections at the Adriatic Gate container terminal. The new container terminal on the island Kirk, development of the study documentation with the conceptual design. And the fourth, deepening of the waterway and installation of the wastewater treatment separator at the only one the livestock terminal in Croatia. According to the proposal of the Commission, the Connecting European Facility has a total of the 43 billion euros at the disposal in the new program period. One of the 4 projects has already been approved for the co-financing this year, which is the construction of the new pier for the multi-purpose activities. There is a strong investment cycle in the Port of Rijeka at the moment. It has begun with the Rijeka Gateway project of the World Bank. Through this project, 181 million euros were invested only in the port components. With this investment, the following in the infrastructural capacity of the Port of Rijeka have been increased and modernized. The existing container terminals have been modernized. The new maritime passenger terminal has been built. The operational piers have been reconstructed, and the process of privatization of the port operations was initiated. Back then, I was the president of the management board in the Port of Rijeka joint stock company, which is an concessionaire, and I conducted the procedure for the introduction of the private capital into the Adriatic Gate company, a concessionaire of the existing container terminal in the Port of Rijeka. The process was completed in 2011 when we signed the strategic partnership agreement with International Container Terminal Services. You can guess who it was the consultant of the Port of Rijeka joint company. That was MTBS. I personally signed this contract. We cooperate very well, and together we did also with the MTBS a great job. It was the first strategic partnership in the Croatia. I think not only in Croatia, I think that was the first partnership in the Adriatic area system with the private foreign operator. The Rijeka Gateway project has officially ended with the construction of phase 1 of the new Zagreb deep sea container terminal. The total investment in the new container terminal amounted to 107 million euros. The works comprised of construction of 400-meter long shoreline and were completed in May 2019. Our Zagreb deep sea container terminal is the new container terminal and only the deep sea container terminal in Adriatic. It is 20 meters deep along the coastline wall. According to such maritime and shipping capacity, it is the part of the deep sea terminals group that can offer the berth and the service of the container ships at the latest generation. This is an advantage that puts our terminal in a better position than our competitors. According to the Rijeka Gateway project, development of the new Zagreb deep sea container terminal is being implemented in the several phases. After the completion of all the phases, it will have a total area of approximately 20 hectares and 680 meters long pier and the sea depth of the 20 meters. Phase 1 includes the construction of the 400 meters long pier with the shoreline, completed in May 2018, which was financed by the Port of Rijeka Authority with the World Bank loan as a part of the Rijeka Gateway project. Phase 1A includes the construction of an intermodal yard terminal co-financed by the CEF. The activity is the part of the broader projects jointly implemented by the Port of Rijeka Authority and Croatia Railway Company with a total value of 32 million euros. Phase 1A includes also the construction of the terminal infrastructure and superstructure, as well as installation of the terminal equipment that will be financed by the concessionaire. Phase 2's obligation includes the construction of additional 280 meters of the coastline wall with the pier and will also be financed by the concessionaire. The total investment of the concessionaire in the phase 1 and phase 2 are estimated around 250 million euros. We expect that the investment cycle in the phase 1 to be completed by the 2024 and phase 2 by late 2030. We started with the preparation activities of the concession procedure of the Zagreb deep sea container terminal in 2018. Our consultant and partner, of course, in this project was the Maritime Transport Business Solution. And today is the good moment to thank the entire NTBS team for the job well done. We worked together on the 2 international public tenders. The first competition was conducted as a 2-stages competition process. The fact that only the phases of the competitive dialogue with the candidates lasted for almost half a year, which was from July to November 2019, shows how much work had to be done. But I will not go into the details. I would just like to add that this tender was cancelled in December 2020, and soon we announced the new tender. The new concessionaire selection process began in March and ended in May this year, and we received an offer from the APM Terminals and Logic Consortium, which has met the maximum criteria under the tender. The consortium is committed to build the necessary infrastructure and fully equipping the Zagreb deep sea terminal in the phase 1 and phase 2 and guarantees a container traffic on 1 million TEUs in the first 2 years of operation of the terminal. This slide shows how important is the Zagreb deep sea project. You can see on the right photo who attend this ceremony. Prime Minister of Croatia, Mr. Andrej Plenković, Ministry of the Sea, Mr. Oleg Butkovic, CEO of APM, CEO of Analogic, Mayor of the city of Rijeka, Deputy Prefect of the Primorsko-Goranski district. On November 5th, 2021, we have signed a 50-year concession agreement for the new Zagreb deep sea container terminal with the APM Terminals and Analogic Consortium. This is the largest contract in the history of the port of Rijeka, the largest in the value and the most important contract. Formally and legally, the Rijeka Gateway project of the World Bank was completed. This project will be live with us for the least another 50 years because, as you can see on the slide, the new concession is called Rijeka Gateway, by what is very important, operated by APM Terminals and Analogic. As I have already said, the Zagreb deep sea container terminal will take into the operation on the January 1st, 2024. We estimate that the total container traffic of the Rijeka port of Rijeka at the both terminals existing Adriatic Gate container terminal, the new Zagreb deep sea container terminal will reach 900,000 TEUs units in the 2024. And the following year, which will be 2025, we expected a turnover of 1 million TEU units. The AP Terminals aims to complete phase 2 as soon as possible according to the business plan that will be in 2028. This means that at the end of this decade, we can expect that the container traffic of the port of Rijeka to amount about 1.5 million TEU. The last slide of our presentations has a title, Becoming North Adriatic's Leading Container Port. I just have to present to you biggest projects that will take us closer to that goal. When we started to plan our development, we analyzed the trends in the North Adriatic traffic direction, as well as our closest competitors and our environment. Apart from the Rijeka, the capacities of the container ports is North Adriatic Port Associations is Ravenna Port, Venice Port, Trieste and Koper and the Rijeka Port are the limit of utilization, except the Rijeka, which is about 82%. Currently, only the Rijeka has free capacity left. The turnover at this route is now at around 3 million TEUs, and the trend is growing. According to the NAPA study, the traffic of the North Adriatic port in the 2013 will be around 6 million TEUs. Other NAPA ports are currently in the early stages of the planning their new capacities, and ours are already in the high stage of implementation. This really means that we have planned the new capacity of the port of Rijeka at the right time, and that we will have the right answer to the market demands in the time. The new Zagreb deep sea container terminal will be taken into operation 2024. This is the year when the concessionaires' investment in phase 1 will end. A few days ago, we signed a concession agreement with the AP Terminals and Analogic Consortium. One of the largest port terminal operators in the world has recognized the advantages of the port of Rijeka, of the new Zagreb deep sea container terminal and the Rijeka traffic route. By 2030, the second investment package of the concessionaire will be completed, as well as the construction works and equipping, which is all the part of the phase 2. Allow me to conclude. Rijeka has excellent traffic position. We are deep sea port ready for the European market. We have the deep sea container terminal, and along with the port of Trieste, we are the only port in the North Adriatic that can serve the ships of the 18,000 TEUs and more. In the next few years, we will have the 2 state-of-the-art container terminals, and now on our disposal, we expect a capacity of over the 1 million TEUs per year of the 2024 and about 3 million TEUs by the end of the decade. These are the elements that will launch us in the next few years in the positions of the leading container port in the North Adriatic. Please visit us and allow us to take you around the port of Rijeka and see all these projects I talked about. At the last but not least, in the 2 extremely complex projects, our consultant was MTBS, and both were completed more than successfully and above our expectation. Thank you all of your attention.